These guitars might just be setting the standard for high quality and also incredible affordability. Let's check out the Schecter Standard series. Today I'm going to be checking out the Schecter Standard series, particularly 3 models that live in that range. Now, slight spoiler alert, these are maybe some of the best sort of bang for your buck quality-wise guitars, particularly if you are, kind of more metal or hard rock leaning. This line has had a revamp in 2024, so let's just jump right in. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to start with today, and this was the one that I used in the little intro bit of playing there. This is the PT, which is their kind of single cut Telecaster sort of looking model. It's been around for a while and it is a really, really well put together guitar. Now, one of the things that people are going to notice about this sort of revamp to this range is these absolutely stunning new finishes that are on them. This model here with this amazing purple burl top on here, which you can actually see has been put on, is a completely separate part. And let's have a look at the back as well, because it's also got that really nice purple on there. Now, all these guitars are available in 2 finishes. I've only got 1 of the 3 that I've got, and there is another model as well, which is their Avenger, which is the kind of Sinister Gates style, sort of like jaggy offset, which is also available in this range. But the kind of biggest highlights for me, number 1 being those finishes, number 2 being those pickups that you heard in the start there, which let's even just hear them again, going through a quad cortex today on a very, very chunky preset, which I think is just apt for these guitars. So they're super high output passive pickups sitting there in these guitars, and they've actually got these really cool black covers to them as well, which matches the black hardware that goes across the whole guitar. Now, before we move on to something else as well, I just want to show you a bit of a clean with this, because as you would expect with kind of guitars like this, they're great at handling distortion, they're great for big chunky riffs. They've got those like super solid hardtail bridges in there as well, so you don't have to worry about obviously your tuning kind of going up and down with what it would be with like a floating trem or something like that. But what was the biggest surprise for me was like sticking in that middle position and then jumping to more of a clean, because it handles it really well. Check this out. Which obviously I've got quite a nice sort of sparkly delay and reverb soaked preset there, but that thing sounds absolutely awesome, and I think that's just like the mission statement of these guitars. is that they've been revamped and revitalised sort of to match more of a modern metal player. Not to say that kind of more classic metal players wouldn't need a clean, but certainly if anybody's listening to like any kind of prog or like modern metal, quote unquote, then this kind of guitar is just absolutely matching that, and especially with the versatility of those pickups. Now, last thing that I want to mention, roasted maple necks on all of these models too, which you've seen that on quite a few models, specifically with actual Schecter signature models too. The Nick Johnson, his PT and his like S-style one has got a roasted maple neck on it as well. And just, it's a great feeling neck. Anyone who has played it will know. But let's move on to another guitar here. This being the PT that I had in my hands, and this model here is the C1, which is obviously their double cutaway sort of Strat style one. I guess you would call this a super Strat more than anything. But this has got a really cool kind of satin top on there, and this model has, that's an ash top on that one, that was a burl top on the other one there. And yeah, this is just absolutely ripping as well. Listen to this. Same pickups that are in these as the first guitar that I was playing there, but obviously the big thing with this is just it's a slightly different body shape, and it doesn't have the usual arm cutaway up here as you would expect on, you know, kind of like an S-style sort of super Strat sort of guitar, which that's to bear in mind. But if you have played like a Telly or something like that, you'll know what that feels like. But one of the cool things is they actually do have the hand cutaways up at that kind of dusty end there, so you know, if you are kind of up there doing your thing, then it's not going to get in the way. You're not going to find there's a big kind of hand joint like smashing up against that there. Much like the other model, this does come in another colour as well, so if that's not your bag, then no worries with that. Now, moving on to the last model that I've got with me today. This is the Solo 2, being the single cut kind of Les Paul style one, and certainly I think it's the most smudgy one of today as well, if the comments will let me know anything of that. But the only big difference with this is that it does have a slightly different scale length to the other models as well. This one being the kind of more traditional Gibson 24.5 scale inch, as opposed to the 25 that is on the other models there. But the big difference as well is it's only got 22 frets, was it? I say 2 frets on it, which I guess if that's all you're going to be doing, then you're totally fine to do that as well. But let's check out this guy, just see what it's got going on. I got a little bit carried away there at the end, but this one does feel like a little bit kind of like slinkier. Not due to like any difference in the kind of neck profiles or anything like that. They all have a nice thin C, so you can kind of fly over them all. But I think just that like slightly shorter scale length is, like, it's making me act up a little bit, certainly. And this one obviously having the hardtail, more kind of tunematic style to it. So anybody who wants like more of a sort of supercharged Les Paul, then this is definitely the one to go for you. But kind of rounding up with these guitars, I do just think kind of what I said initially, like the fact that they have been updated to kind of suit more of a sort of modern player, maybe to meet the needs of some of those modern players while still retaining like kind of classic, just like chunky sort of metal guitars as well. Not to say that you particularly need to just play these with metal, because they feel really, really solid, and certainly if you're more kind of rock, or you just need like a really well-equipped humbucking guitar, because there's no coil splits or anything on these. They are like laser focused, obviously, just meant to be heard and to be played. But that's kind of all I want to mention with these guitars. So let me know what you think down in the comments about the new Schecter Standard series. Are you excited about these? Do go check them out. They are incredibly affordable for how great they are, all kind of coming in at below the sort of £400 mark at time of recording here. And while you're down there, give us a like and a subscribe. It does go a long way to help the channel, and you can keep up with all the latest news at GGHQ. But until then, I've been Kieran, and this is to be a very quick look at 3 models in the Schecter Standard series. Have a great day. Ah!